Right. Let's see how we're getting on. We're good. Oh, how's he missed? Great opportunity missed. Was it good enough side? Oh, it's tight. Well, I'm not entirely sure how well he's missed that game there. That shot, that goal should be 1-0. It's not. Right, let's have a look at the other scores so far. Yeah, Leicester winning 4-3 away at Spartak. That's a great result for them on the back of their 4-2 win against Man United. A couple of big games in the Championship at the moment. Right, it's okay. So goal at Middlesbrough. Get a couple of things set up here. Still 0-0 in the Group F. Man United still 0-0. Chelsea, Malmo still 0-0. Although Chelsea, as you can imagine, being absolutely dominant. Quite a strong lineup. 0-0 in the Benfica Bayern Munich game. Not much going on in the opening few minutes of the Champions League. Hopefully it will spark to life a little bit. I'll switch over and have a look at the United game, see what's going on there in a minute. Oh, it's looking, it's running steady there. Yeah, okay, it is. Oh, Lukaku, deflected, saved. A good save, actually. Lukaku's left foot, I think he mishit it really, but it's deflected and it's quite a big deflection. So the goalkeeper has started going to his left and he switched back to his right. He almost bangs it into the ground, Lukaku. It was a good save, though. Good reactions. The corner, it's back in. Lukaku trying to bring it down. All Chelsea at the moment here, as you would expect, to be fair. Oh, that's 1-0. That is Christensen. Christensen with the goal. Christensen with the goal for Chelsea. 1-0. On the volley. Back in. It was a cross that was bobbled around a little bit. Eventually got cleared. Whipped him back in by Thiago Silva. And Christensen with a volley. It sort of hit it into the ground and it bounced. And I mean, the goalkeeper didn't really have much chance, but it is 1-0. Let's have a look at the other scores. Any change in the Man United game? Ooh, okay, Villarreal leading at Young Boys. That puts more pressure on Man United, in my opinion. And Man United, this is a must-win today for Man United. See how we get on. It was a good finish. It was a good finish. Glenn Hoddle, the co-commentator on the Chelsea game. Right, let's switch over to the Man United game and have a look what's going on there. Right, there's still 0-0, 9 minutes gone in that game. So a quick look at the Championship. Swansea, West Brom, that's a battle at the top, that is. Or battle of the promotion favourites, if you like. Right, still Man United with the ball, goalkeeper. Surprised with actually the team that played Maguire again. You just think if Maguire wasn't, and he clearly wasn't fit in the game against Leicester. Oh, here we go. Atalanta even. On the edge of the area. Looking for it's poor ball. Right, United looking for the counter here. It's a good ball over, actually. It's Ronaldo picking up the ball just on the edge of the area. He's gone down. Corner's been given. Ronaldo, you would... Well, to be fair, I thought that was a free kick there. I thought that should have been a free kick on the edge of the area for United, but it's a corner. Ronaldo looked like he was slowing up. He was just getting to the ball, though. I'm wondering if that's what happens when you get to 36. I think they need an early goal here, United. I think the longer this game goes on without United taking a lead, corner straight back out. Didn't clear the first man, but will be put back in. And again, didn't clear the first man. That's poor from Bruno Fernandes. If he can switch the ball here, oh no, that's the it was just the wrong ball. There was a break on. There was definitely a break on, but you had two Atlanta players running to the middle of the pitch, and somehow he managed to find space in between the two players, rather than just in front of one of the two players. Yeah, there is. The commentary just saying about how much space there is in the midfield area. It's end to end, though. We'll give it that much. Right, let's have a quick look at what's going on in the other games. Still 0-0 in the Lille-Seville game. And it's still 1-0 in this game here. Still Chelsea 1-0. And that's from earlier, the Europa League. Again, great result for Leicester. Great result. Let's have a look at the bit more detail what's going on there. As you can see, Man United not having a great deal of possession. Shots, just a one by United, none by Atalanta. But certainly United, if you're looking at 12 minutes in. They're not really having it all their own way at the moment. Well, that could have been. Man United get a chance to play it back out. There's a lot of space going forward, but what a poor ball. Poor ball forward. I'm not entirely sure what they're trying to do here, Man United. If I'm being honest. Yeah, it's not great. Okay, let's have a quick check on the other scores. Still just a 2 goals. Middlesbrough leading at Barnsley. West Brom at Swansea. Need that West Brom as well because Bournemouth are just starting to try. Sort of started to open up a bit of a gap there, haven't they? In the Championship. Still Benfica nil, Bayern Munich nil. Let's have a quick look at the stats in that game. As you'd expect, 64% Bayern Munich. Just one shot though so far. Oh, Atlanta have taken the lead. Goal for Atlanta. Goal for Atlanta. Atalanta. If I can pronounce it right. Atalanta. Well, pressure is going to mount on Solskjaer. The pressure will be there. How will United fans react to this? Come up on here in a minute, but I can tell you now, I'm watching the game and they have definitely scored. Let's just make sure there's nothing in terms of offside or anything, but it's a ball in. Don't know what. Luke Shaw's completely switched off. Oh, he's I think he's behind the ball. So it's a low cross just in sort of level the 6-yard area to the wide, but just in line with the 6-yard area. It's low cross in. The Atlanta play puts the ball in. It's actually just slightly behind the ball, so it shouldn't be an offside thing there. As we got the Lille Seville game still 0-0. Chelsea still 1-0 up against Malmo. As you can imagine, they're 59% possession of the ball. So there's on the tannoy at Old Trafford, they're just saying about yeah. They just announced a VAR check, and I think United fans were just sort of a bit free, and now the referee's just given it as it should do because it was clearly onside. So that's an excellent start for Atalanta. It's a horrible start for Man United. There we go. There's the confirmation of that, and Villarreal winning as well. This will be a terrible night for Man United if results stay like this. I'm watching at the moment. I'm watching the Man United at Atalanta. Me. At the moment, I'm watching the Man United game, but I'm switching between. So I'm watching the Chelsea game as well, and back and forth, and we're keeping an eye out on all the scores. Just an FYI. So I'm keeping an eye on all the games. Going through on. I've got BT Sports open as well. 2-0 in the Villarreal game. But Atalanta looked like they could. Man United are all over the place. Oh God! So it was a foul there by Man United, which would have stopped Atalanta going through on goal there. Still 0-0 in Lille Seville. Right. Still 1-0. Let's switch over to the Chelsea game, see how we're getting on with that one. Still 1-0, 90 minutes gone. Looks like Lukaku's been down injured. He's just up after receiving treatment. So what's okay, so it's a penalty Chelsea. It's a penalty Chelsea. Just didn't know that. I was just literally come on and saw Lukaku still limping around a bit. So there was obviously a foul on Lukaku. So it is 1-0. And Jorginho have a chance to double the lead, make 2 with 20 minutes gone. Right, here he goes, Jorginho. Yep. Straight down the middle, 2-0 Chelsea. That you'd expect at home to Malmo should be game, set, and match. Me, 25, 10, 25s. Rob, I can't show the games. I can't show the goals even because that would be like I'd be done for copyright. Like the FA will bankrupt me and UEFA will bankrupt me. I've got a lot to give him, but right, I was going to go back over to the Man United Atlanta game. There we go. Still 1-0. Corner to Man United. Luke Shaw. It's cleared. Okay, that's no, it's not not a good ball back in. Let's have a quick look at the championship scores. Still, okay, Reading have now taken lead against Blackpool. For what it's worth. Still nil in Benfica by Munich. That's an interesting. Let's have a look at the stats on that so far. 65%. One shot on target with 65% possession after, 21 minutes or so? The stats for the Man United Atletico game. What's your top bet for Champions League to win? As much as I want to say Chelsea, I think my head is saying to keep an eye on Liverpool, if I'm being honest. But you're not going to get great odds on them. Oh, Bruno Fernandes shot on the edge there, deflected. Atlanta trying to break. Oh. Oh, there's some space there. Oh dear. He was off, just on the side. But yeah, I think who do you think Newcastle next manager will be? But you know what? It's let's have a look at the odds checker on it. I'll tell you what odds checker is saying. Okay. So Paulo Fonseca is currently odds on at 8.13. Eddie Howe at 15-2. That's a long way back. I mean, it's almost a foregone there, really. It's almost a foregone. Eddie Howe, 15-2. Roberto Martinez at 10s. Frank Lampard's at 16. Gerrard's at 20s. Unai Emery at 28. I mean, it looks like it's going to be for Senza, but you never know. You never know. Yeah, I'm on BT Sport, so I've got BT Sport app open on my PC, so I can switch between the games. Yes, indeed. Still, oh God. You can hear the groans in the Old Trafford crowds. Oh, it's poor touch by Fernandez. I mean, Man United have got Atalanta camped up now in their half. It's no. Ronaldo's basically stood in the 6-yard area. Here they come again. Crossing, deflected, corner. Right, let's have a quick look at the other scores. Still 0-0 in the Lille-Seville game. Here we go, confirmation 2-0. And Zenit Juventus 0-0. So far, so good for Chelsea tonight. Needed a win after their game against Juventus. I think it's back-to-back, isn't it, against Malmo, I think. Not sure what Rashford's doing now. Rashford on the edge of the area, trying to hit one in from what really was a crossing position. He's trying to smash it, blocked, and nothing's come from it. Worthy of their lead, though, Atalanta. Worthy of their lead. Oh, okay. Let's have a look at the Chelsea game. Okay, Malmo just as I switched over, Malmo just had it looked like a decent chance first hand of it, so it was. Yeah, I'm not sure what he's doing there. It was it's a little bit open there, Chelsea. Playing a strong squad tonight, with Lukaku and Werner. I think, given that who it is with Malmo, I think they're looking at trying to get one or two of these players into form. Has Lukaku gone off? I think Lukaku, I can't see him on there. Lukaku may have gone off injured. Let me just double check on that. I think he has. I think Lukaku's gone off injured. We saw him injured after or certainly hobbling around after the penalty. Now it looks like it's. Shouldn't you be putting your baby to bed? He is in bed. He went to bed about 7:00. He went to bed. Then the missus and me had dinner. Chelsea on the attack here, playing the ball around the edge of the Malmo penalty area. Here it comes. Werner, look at is that a corner? Low ball in. Werner trying to sort of flick it past him. Really, we're almost like a cheeky back heel. I think it did come off the Malmo player. Onside, clearly. Yeah. Still 0-0 in the Zenit and Juventus game. So Chelsea corner. Referee just having a word with Rudiger and Azpilicueta. Surprise, surprise. Short corner. Okay. trying to work that one around, but weren't the best. Ollie's at the wheel. He is. I can see it's 1-0 on the. If it's still 1-0. 1-0. Man United Villarreal. Just been watching that game. Just flicking Daniel between the two. Up the Villa, you've got Arsenal, haven't you, on Friday? We got an Arsenal fan, Rob, on the stream at the moment. Actually, I'll let you two debate who's going to win that one. My money's on a draw, personally. I'm going to go back over to the Man United game. Oh, yeah, this one. Oh, it's 2-0 Atlanta. 2-0. Goal. 2-0 to Atalanta. Ronaldo looks furious. So it's a corner. Atalanta corner. There's a header. Who's at fault there? Well, Maguire, I don't know. Someone lost their man there. I think Maguire's lost his man. 2-0. Should be an interesting game. Yeah, it will be. Assuming you're talking about the Villa Arsenal game. A very interesting game. If Arsenal don't win that, it's the pressure's on. But to be fair, I think the pressure's a little bit on Smith as well, because they've been really like, you don't know what they're going to do next, do you? They win away at Man United, lose at home to Wolves. Champions League midweek is the highlight of the week. Do you agree? It is. It's even better when your team's competing in it, Rob? Or any European football. But I agree. The Atlanta fans are celebrating well. There we go. There's confirmation, by the way. 2-0. Lots of groans by Man United. Every time Man United get the ball and lose it on the edge of the area, there's groans by the Old Trafford crowd. What do we have? We had these puff pastry, like pizza roll things that she made, like homemade. So like pizza rolls with, I don't know, puff pastry rolls with like cheese and tomato and whatnot in, sort of thing. That and cheesy mash and beans, what I had tonight, mate. Ronaldo's not happy at all. Just looking at the replay of the goal and Ronaldo's reactions are not good. Let's have a quick look at what's going on around the grounds. 0-0 Seville. Still 2-0 in the Chelsea game. 0-0 Zenit Juventus. And there's confirmation of Leicester winning earlier. In Championships, Reading 2-0 up at Blackpool now. Peterborough 1 up at Hull City. Middlesbrough 1 up and West Brom 1 up. Man, you are 2 down. They are indeed. There it is. And look, they're worthy to be 2-0 down as well. I mean, Atlanta there have been the better side. 2 shots on target, 2 goals from the 52%. But, they were good chances. It was. They need a goal back before half time, don't they? They cannot. If they lose this game, I mean, they've got Liverpool on the weekend. I can't see Solskjaer if they don't win tonight and they fail to beat Liverpool this weekend. I cannot see Solskjaer staying in a job. How could he? And the thing is, Man United under Solskjaer for the last 2.5, 3 years, which has been in charge, they've had moments, haven't they, where they've looked. He's been a game or two away from the sack on more than one occasion. However, in those previous occasions, I always felt that the players were still with him. That was just tactical errors, individual mistakes, but the players were still with him. But I look now and I watched this side play and saw them against Leicester and whatnot, and they looked like a team that no longer believed in the manager. And for the first time, I genuinely believe that Man United or the players are not on board with the manager. I think he might have totally lost the dressing room. That doesn't happen much, but I think he certainly maybe a little bit behind. Look at the chat, you fool. Do you like Five Guys burgers? Yes, I do. I've had a few, especially during lockdown when you couldn't go out to eat, but they were doing deliveries. We in Cambridge at the leisure park. We'd drive up and order them, go and pick them up. But yeah, I like a good Five Guys bacon double cheeseburger, obviously. Man United on the edge of the box here. Not even getting the balls into the box. That's the thing. They just don't look like. Yeah. So look at the other games. Still 2-0, still 0-0. Oh. So half time in all the games in the Championship. The Champions League games start a little bit later now, don't they? Start 8 o'clock rather than 7:45. Still 2-0. God, there's so much space on the wings for Atalanta. There's so much space. Can he keep that in? It's unlucky. Diagonal ball over the top, and Luke Shaw was nowhere to be seen. Absolutely in no man's land. If that ball literally a couple of yards shorter, again, he's got all the space in the world to run into the United box, which is where the first goal came from. Wow. Yeah. I'm not entirely sure what it's just. They don't look like a team United, did they? They just look like a collection of players. Yeah, it's another ball that's just gone to no man. Oh, okay, Atlanta on the break here. Play the right parcel to it. Oh, that's poor. Not sure entirely sure what he's doing there. And now Rashford comes away with it. Ronaldo tries to play a ball. Even these passes are just getting blocked. And oh, Ronaldo here. Ronaldo looking for the shot. It's an off balance off the shot. He's claiming a penalty, but I think you'll be lucky. I think you'll be lucky. We'll get a replay of it. There'll be VAR, but you're not getting a penalty that for now. I can't believe you've got the audacity to bloody moan for that. It's basically he's gone to hit the ball, and as he's gone to hit, he's lost balance because there's a little bit of a lean by Atlanta by the player onto Ronaldo. I'm not sure who it is there. And he's fallen over taking a shot. The shot's gone nowhere near the goal. It's gone miles wide. And he's trying to claim a penalty. I think he's trying to spare his blushes at 36 years of age. Quick look in the other scores in the 0-0 still in Lille. 0-0 still in Lille versus Seville. Oh, but foul flag's gone up. Ronaldo's offside. He's gone down again in the area. Clean tackle. He's gone down in the area, sat on the floor like a sport brat. Yeah, probably just offside. It's close. Still 0-0 in Benfica. Rob, how do you feel about your own team this season? What do you think of Arsenal at the moment? sit bottom of the group, United, based on the current standings. That's gone through a goal kick. And with that, let's go and have a quick look at the Chelsea game. Chelsea Malmo. Still 2-0. So Havertz is the player that's come on by the looks of things for, it's Havertz. So Werner's gone as more of a conventional forward. Havertz looks like he's out on the left. Well, it might be Havertz actually that's playing. As the more conventional forward. Chelsea will be hoping that's not a long-term thing. The other games, yeah. I think Reading, Black. I'm not sure what it was later. Maybe that's an 8 o'clock kickoff, that one. Oh, here we go. Oh, he's side netting Havertz. Well, it must have been a save from the angle. It looked like it just went side netting, but it looks like the goalkeeper's got saved. Great ball from Conte, and yeah, it was a save. The near post. Actually, it's almost with his knee, really, the goalkeeper there. With his left knee. It's a corner. Now Werner's sat down on the in the penalty area. Chelsea will be opening it. He doesn't have to go off as well. We've already had to replace Lukaku. He's being treated, and I want to hope that this is nothing too serious. So looking at his leg, it could be a hamstring. He's pulled up. So as the Havertz shots come in, Werner's sort of waiting for the cross, if that makes sense, and he's pulled up as he's coming towards the goal. Right, I expect that Werner's coming off for the night then. Who else they bring on in that area? That's both their strikers gone. It looks like Hudson-Odoi warming up. It is Hudson-Odoi. Well, that's a blow for Chelsea, that is. Blow for Chelsea. What players do you think are on Newcastle shopping list? It's a tough one because when you look at players who are going to go to Newcastle, I mean, firstly, because of financial fair play, it's not like the days when Abramovich bought out Chelsea and they could just go and spend, whatever they wanted. And the same with City as well, when they were bought out in 2008. So they still have to. Whilst they're going to have money to spend and they can make losses, they still have to be within reason, so to speak, within the rules of financial fair play. Certainly, the Premier League financial fair play. They're not bound by UEFA financial fair play because they're not in UEFA, not in European competition yet, at least. If I was them, I'd be targeting players like Lingard from Man United, who doesn't want to get much for game time there. Who went to West Ham, showed that actually at that level, he can be effective. So someone like Jesse Lingard, I'd consider going in for Sterling. But you could even go for Ramsey at Juventus. They're the sort of players I'd go for. They're not going to get the creme de la creme. I know they're wealthy owners and whatnot, but they're not going to go out and get Mbappe. Not going to go out and get Haaland. It's just not going to happen. Not only can they not afford it because of financial fair play, not because of lack of funds, if you like. So that's what I then play. Maybe even Philip Coutinho. Maybe even go to Coutinho and offer Barcelona. Oh, Barcelona want to sell players, don't they? I think Arsenal. Yeah. I'm amazed Arteta's in a job. Amazed that he started the season, frankly, after finishing 8th last year in no European football. And they're currently 12th. What I don't get with Arsenal, look, Arsenal, as we said before many times, Rob, they are a propaganda machine. When they call themselves the Red Army, they are literally the Soviet Union Red Army. I mean, it's propaganda like you wouldn't believe. And this whole trust the process, it's a project, etc., etc. And the fact that Edu come out and he couldn't even give the basics of where are they looking to finish. What is your expectations this season, Edu? Couldn't answer it. Our new keeper wrestling Bartini. The thing is, Tierney's even been out of form as well, hasn't he? 150 million quid spent in the summer, and don't forget they spent quite a bit last summer as well. It's Chelsea with Havertz. It's gone over. I'm gonna back on over to the Man United game. And you look at the squad and you think, but what have they got for 150 million quid? Is it, have Man United scored? No, it's wide. No, it's missed. Yeah. So yeah, I just it's been poorly managed. You've got a manager there who just, in my opinion, just isn't up to the job. He's out of his depth, and they are 12th in the league, and they've had what one. They've played 8 games so far this season. They've had what one good 45 minutes against Spurs. Partey flop, Ben White rip off. I mean, Ben White's certainly Partey has not had the impact after. Well, he's been there 14 months now, 14, 15 months. He's not had the impact. Ben White is far too early to say, but I certainly think for 50 million quid, when you consider Varane cost 40 odd million quid, Aubameyang's just there for his 350 grand a week. He signed his contract and that was it. And now Arsenal can't get rid of him. This is what happened. But again, you got too many people, too many Arsenal fans who are like you had watching the football terrace and there are Arsenal fans there saying, after the Spurs game, oh, we're going to finish top 4. We're in for top 4. We're in for top 4. They go and play Brighton. They go and play Palace. They draw 2 games against 2 mid-table sides where they scraped draws. And now they're moving the goalpost saying, oh, yeah, well, we can't really set expectations because, it's a building process and we can't judge Arteta on last year and so on. I'm like, why can't you judge Arteta on last year? Oh, because the grounds were empty. Yeah, but the grounds were empty for everyone. The grounds were empty for everyone. Okay, can we judge him on the 20 league games he had in the... Oh, he's missed. How has he missed? Man United have just had an absolute sitter. It's where you pronounce it with a Werner. It's like some people pronounce Wenger as in Wenger, and some pronounce it as Wenger. There we go. Half time, 2-0. Right, I'm just going to top up my drink. So I'll be 2 seconds. Right, so quick look at the half-time scores. 2-0 at Man United versus Atalanta. That will be a massive, massive blow for Man United. Massive blow. And Young Boys 0, Villarreal 2. 0-0, Lille versus Seville. Chelsea 2, Malmo 0, Zenit 0, Juventus 0. Chelsea having lost both Werner and Lukaku. Result from earlier in the day, Spartak 3, Leicester 4. Great result for Leicester there in Europa League. Sky Bet Championship. Most of the games should be back on now. Just starting the second half, these should be. Hull City 1, Peterborough 1. Borough 1-0 up at Barnsley, at home to Barnsley. Coventry, a goal up at Preston. West Brom still lead, sponsored by Gold 0. Reading 2, Blackpool 0. Benfica 0, Bayern Munich 0. Well, that's still going. That must be pretty close to finishing now for the half. So look at the stats. Man United, Atalanta. So 55%. They come in, obviously, once Atlanta went 2-0 up, they've sort of sat back a little bit. And they've invited a bit of pressure on, probably a bit too much, because United had 2 really good chances to score at the end of the half, and they missed both. Both, I think, fell for Rashford, or certainly one fell to Rashford. But they're in some mud. They are. As it stands, they are going to have to win at least 2 of their games during the last 3 games, and that includes going away to Atalanta and away to Villarreal with Young Boys at home. So look at the Chelsea game. As you can imagine, pretty dominant. 72% with 4 shots on target, 6 shots off target, 4 corners. Pretty dominant display so far by Chelsea against Malmo. But the main thing there is the injuries. So Hudson-Odoi came on for Werner, and Havertz came on for Lukaku. Both strikers going off injured. Werner looked like it was a hamstring. He walked off, which was a good sign, and it looked to me like that perhaps they got him off before it actually went. You can't take chance of a hamstring, because once a hamstring goes, that could be many weeks without. So look at the Zenit Juventus. So I mean, you'd expect. Look at this: no shots on target with 61% possession. This will be fine now. I think Chelsea will be quite happy to see us St. Petersburg Juventus draw. To be honest, I think they'll be quite happy with that. The next game, I think, is Malmo away. I think got back to back against Malmo. I think so. They'll be looking and thinking, if they win that, that's 9 points. That's them nearly through, then, isn't it? They'll have a away against Zenit and a home against Juventus, but that should be enough to get them through. So I'll put the championship games on, because it's half time in the Champions League games. So there won't be any score updates coming through on that. But interesting so far. Man United are in absolute dog poo at the moment. Just looking at the on BT Sports, are just showing the goals at the moment, and I just can't believe how easy. But United cannot keep clean sheets. Is that something like their 17th or 18th home game on the bounce where they've conceded a goal? Yeah, they're all over the place. Looking at defence, Maguire, he was running on. Maguire was tracking back to cover, and he shouldn't. If he carried on running, he would have covered the cross. But he stopped to play the offside rule while his teammates carried on going. And then there's a corner, the second goal, free header. So they're highlighting Maguire and McTominay. Maguire's slow to it. It was clearly not fit in that game against Leicester, and he's clearly not fit tonight. Clearly not fit tonight. They got Liverpool next on the weekend. I'll tell you something now. If they lose that, there's no way he can stay in the job. There's absolutely no way he could stay in the job if they lose that tonight. if they lose to Liverpool. I mean, I actually wouldn't be surprised. Looking at this tonight, they may push the panic button tonight. If they've been in talks and there's some, don't know what he's doing there. There's yeah, Fred missed a sitter, and then Rashford missed a sitter that would have at least kept him in the game. But if the stories are right and Man United in talks with Conte after tonight, surely you would have to be considering. I mean, I've always said at the international break, my thoughts were they'll look after the Liverpool game. If they lose to Liverpool, that's the sort of where you can perhaps make that chop. Looking at it tonight, and Paul Scholes is on BT. It looks like it's going to burst into tears, the poor bloke. Let's see what he wants to say. One sec. And Paul Scholes been very critical, saying that about being, if you're playing against decent European sides, you're going to get destroyed. Talking about United still winning in the second half, Paul Scholes. Mind you, he also, Paul Scholes, isn't the same person who sat there on Sky on Friday, was it? And said that United, you can't blame United losing or Solskjaer losing the game against Villarreal in the Europa League final because they didn't have a strong bench. Their bench was worth 4 times Villarreal's entire starting 11, but it's okay, United. You didn't win Solskjaer. You didn't win the Europa League against Villarreal because you didn't have the bench, despite the fact it was worth 4 times more than Villarreal's squad. Just, excellent. Why have to... This is the problem with BT sometimes, isn't it? Why have... It's so common, isn't it, for them to put like a Michael Owen on Liverpool who has to state the obvious. Well, if you don't score, you don't win. No shit, Sherlock. They pay you all much money to go on TV and say that. What? It's the only thing with BT is they don't have the best pundits, do they? What do you think Harry Kane will do? Stay at Spurs or other? I think he will go. I still think City might get him. And I think they may look for something in January, if I'm being honest. If I'm being honest, I genuinely think they may look in January because it was quite obvious with Harry Kane. You looked at it. I looked at him in those few games that he played early in the season, and he didn't look with it, did he? And when I say with it, I don't mean physically. I mean mentally. He didn't look there, did he? He just looked like he. Have you ever been in that job before, and where you've a job where sort of mentally you've left, you're looking for something else, you might have even found something else, you've handed in your notice, you've got a month to work or 2 months to work or however long your notice period is, and for that time you're already gone. In your head you've already left. And to me that's where Harry Kane is right now for Spurs. To me he looks like he's already left, like mentally, if that makes sense. That he's heart, like, well, it's not his heart, but he wants to be somewhere else. And to be perfectly honest, I think Spurs should have cashed in, and there's 2 reasons. Well, there's one main reason why, and that is if you look at there's 2 footballers, or 2 big money signings that left the Premier League from Premier League sides, and that is Coutinho to Barcelona and Hazard to Real Madrid. Both teams went on having sold those 2 players who were considered their best players. The whole if you sell your best players, you can't win anything. They both sold their players, both went on to win Champions Leagues. Liverpool went on to win the Premier League. Chelsea could yet do that because the money that was invested. With Liverpool, they went and bought Alisson, they went and bought Van Dijk. They sold Coutinho and they went and massively improved the areas they needed to improve. We know before Alisson they had a goalkeeping issue. We know before Van Dijk they were sloppy and weak at the back. And they knew that. They sold, they got the money, and they dealt with the problems they needed to deal with. And Chelsea, with the money they got for Hazard, 140 odd million, 130, 140 million, and they go and buy the likes of Havertz, and they they're putting the likes of Werner. I know he's not quite hacked it so far thus yet. But they've spent money. They Chilwell, I thought, was a good signing. And so sometimes they've taken that really strong area of that team and they've distributed the strength of that into areas around the team. With a new left wing back in Chilwell, a new forward in Werner, and Havertz, I think is going to be a real top quality player in the future going forward. So, in my opinion, if Spurs had sold Harry Kane, I would have. If I was sold Levy, I would have just sat there and said, "Look, Man City, 150 million quid, and he's yours. 150 million quid. There's no negotiation on that. We'll settle at 150 million quid. We want as much of that up front now. And we want it guaranteed 150 million quid. So we don't want stupid add-ons that you may or may not achieve. And go out and they could have. I mean, what did Spurs need? Okay, they would have needed a replacement striker. Was it Martinez? Is it at Inter Milan? What's that? They could have done that for 60, 65 million quid. Could have gone and got. I would have gone and got the that young lad from Brighton in the midfield. Probably another centre back, and all of a sudden you've got a spine of the team there. You would have that 150 million quid. They could have turned it into a more. They could have improved areas of the squad beyond where they had. That's just my opinion, though. All right, should be just the adverts in a moment, so they'll be coming back out again in a minute. Rob, you must miss your team not playing on midweek games at the moment. I mean, to be fair, you're probably used to not playing on a Tuesday or Wednesday night, but your Thursday nights have been preoccupied for the last 4 years. Be interesting to see how Man United play this second half, because they're going to have to go for it, aren't they? They're going to have to go for it. So yeah, it's just listening to the commentary. Rio Ferdinand just saying about changing things at half time. I'll be interested to see. Really interested to see how Man United come out and set out in the second half. The other game's kicked off yet. Lille kicked off against Seville. Chelsea still out 2-0. Will have been a few minutes of stoppage time on there because obviously the two injuries. Right, second half's about to start. Let's get going with the second half. Right, second half has kicked off. Man United come out in the front foot here. Luke Shaw trying to, looking. Ooh. Came out all guns blazing there, United. Literally, Luke Shaw looks like a man possessed running up the wing. Let's just see. I think Atalanta, for me, they've got to settle down this half. Keep a shape. Don't give United easy opportunities. Ooh. That was fortunate there from United. Ronaldo playing a square ball. It was nearly intercepted. And it was in the wrong area of the pitch where you don't want interceptions. Not so sitting on the ball, Man United. As you can imagine, they've got the possession, ball forward, but it's this poor ball forward. So who's warming up here? So Cavani's warming up 46 minutes gone. If he's warming up now to come on, was there any point? Why didn't they just bring him on at half time? I don't get it. Well, I'll tell you what, if Atlanta played the passes right here, it was a free kick. Bought that one, but I'm not sure what Fred's doing there. But this is what you're going to get now in the second half from Atalanta. For me, it's the 47th minute, just into the 47th minute. There might be a delay because I'm watching it on the BT Sports app on my PC. Oh, hang on, Ronaldo's in. Oh, it's saved. Rashford's on the follow-up. It's missed. So my at this moment in time is 47 minutes, 20 seconds. So it's probably a slight delay. Well, of all the people you'd want to have through on goal, literally through on goal, Ronaldo, and he hits it straight at the goalkeeper. I mean, it's a good save, but he hits it straight at him. It's come off his chest. And then Rashford with a follow-up, and it was about, I mean, it was 3-4 yards wide, not even close. Oh, is that Atalanta? Okay, it's an Atalanta throw. So have a quick look at the other scores. Still 0-0, still half-time action. Benfica, Bayern Munich. Lille 0, Seville 0. Chelsea still 2-0 against Malmo. Zenit, Juventus still 0-0. And Championship, Fulham have taken lead against Cardiff. 0-0, 1-1, 1-0. Preston have equalised. Swansea have equalised against West Brom. Big goal that is at the top of the Championship. There we go, 2-0. So this will put Man United bottom of the group at the halfway stage. Remember, they didn't make the Champions League knockout stages last year. Good pressure from Shaw there, but Atlanta was won it back. Still, I wonder if I could get the. I need to work out. I don't know if I can get the audio. If playing the audio of the game would be in breach of copyright, if that makes sense. I know I can't show the game, obviously. No, Rashford there. I don't know what he's doing really. He's not done a lot, has he, since he come back? He hasn't actually done a lot, really, I don't think, for United for. Well, I mean, when was the last time you saw Rashford have a really good, not just a game, but a good spell, like a pebble patch? Been a while, hasn't it, for Rashford? I don't know what he's done with his hair. He's gone. Well, he's trying to do a Neymar or something. I don't know what he's doing, but it looks silly. All that money paying the best hairdressers in the world, and still you look like a pleb. Well, I'm just going to quickly flick over to the Chelsea game, see what's going on in that game. See if I've had any more injuries. Oh, it's 3-0. There's been another goal. Who scored in that then? Oh, Havertz scored. And it's Chelsea again on Kante on the edge of the area. Mount. How's Havertz? Could be 4. Could be 4. But you'd expect nothing from nothing other than that, really. Joseph won the game now. The question really is how much they're going to win at Bayern, and also, I think more importantly, and what are those injuries to Lukaku and Werner? Right, let's go back to the Man United game. Let me see if I can get some audio. 1 second. Right, 1 sec. Let me just see if I can get this. Oh, Rashford scores 2-1. It's going to be an interesting last. It's going to be interesting last. Just looking at the. Yeah, he's on side. I'm surprised how high up the pitch Atlanta's defence are, given their 2-0 up at Old Trafford, in my opinion. Good finish by Rashford. I've seen the Arsenal glory days, midweek visits to Milan, Barcelona. Yeah, but did you ever actually win? Arsenal were a make up the numbers team, weren't they? Like a lot of the Champions League, to be fair. Oh. You go, Atlanta have got the ball. They're going to try and looking like they're trying to. Oh, I don't know what they're doing there. Lift to the crowd now, Old Trafford. They need to hold on a little bit here to Atalanta. I mean, the third goal would be. But I can't believe how high the line they played. Oh. Yeah, it's just a commentary just saying about the atmosphere changing, just as I said, really. I think Atalanta need to try and hold them off now. I think the next 10 minutes of this game is crucial because you don't want to give. Well, obviously, you don't want Man United getting back in the game. Well, Van out. Okay, so he's given a. So Ronaldo's through. There's a collision between Atalanta defender and Ronaldo. Trying to see who it is. And I think Ronaldo wants a red card, but he's given a yellow. I'm just looking. I don't think Ronaldo's getting there. So, yeah. It's Ronaldo's not getting the ball there. The ball's nowhere near him. So you can't give it. It's not a clear goal scoring opportunity. Definitely not. Apart from the fact the goalkeeper was closer to the ball than Ronaldo, there's never going to be a red. So Sabatta's coming on. Atalanta's top goal scorer. Interesting, he didn't start, to be honest. But Ronaldo has got his eyes on the free kick here. Stood over the ball. So is Shaw, and so is Shaw, and so is Fernandez. And Ronaldo's going to take this, surely. It's Ronaldo. It's nowhere near. Weren't a good free kick. Right, let's have a quick look at the other games. Oh, Fulham now 2-0 up against Cardiff. 0-0, 1-1, still 1-0 Borough. 2-1 Preston, I turned it around, they're 1-0 down. Swansea, West Brom 1-1 still. Reading 2-0. Well, Bayern Munich have taken the lead against Benfica. There we go, confirmation. Man United 1, Atalanta 2. Still 2-0 Villarreal. Another yellow card for Atalanta. 0-0 Lille Seville. Chelsea still 3-0 up against Malmo. Still 0-0 Zenit Juventus. But I think Chelsea will be quite happy with that. Right, it's another foul by Atalanta, another yellow card, but for Darun this time. They've had about 3 yellow cards in about 5 minutes, Atalanta here. You can see here, look at the stats have completely changed since half time. Completely changed since half time, this game. It's cleared by Atalanta. I can never pronounce them right. Yeah, it's all Man United at the moment in this. They need to settle down, Atalanta. Need to settle down. Oh, it's off the post. McTominay. Off the beans on toast. All Man United at the moment. Atalanta need to get hold of the ball here. We've got the ball now. Atalanta, the goalkeeper, needs to slow it down a little bit, I think. Yeah, let's have a look. It's come off he's off of the inside of his knee, McTominay, when it hits the post. Yeah, they bear in mind Atalanta, the back three, they're playing none of their 3 usual centre backs. Oh God, that was a good ball. That was a very good ball in. Right, Rob, let me send you a link to join. Hang on, let me get. Let me just. Right. Yeah, the real commentary's just saying about Atalanta having the ball for 5 minutes and being glad with it. I think they will. It's been all United. Right, it's quick look through the other games. Still nil. Oh no, okay. So Bayern Munich were 1 up, but that goal's also been chalked off. Presumably, VAR's disallowed it. Always Atalanta, by the way, on down the wing. They look a good side when they're going forward. They're missing 3 of the top 3 centre backs, so it's. Oh no, it's nowhere near. Nowhere near. Right, let's bring on Rob onto the stream. Hang on. Here he is. How you doing, mate?
Good. How many people are live?
We've got a few. 3.
Oh, wow. Hello.
Well, to be fair, it depends because over the course of the night, people come and go. So, over the course of the night so far, let's just have a quick look. I'll tell you. They are on there. So far, well, it's not showing at the moment. It probably won't. I know it is. 22.
Wow. Hello. Where's everyone
22.
from? You don't. Do you ask them more?
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is my first live stream. because
Oh
all my
wow!
others have been pretty. Yeah, this was my first live stream. I've been waiting to go live for a while, but don't know, just never got round to doing it. Really, I thought, well, I'm going to wait to the right moment. I bought at obviously buying the right equipment, the software that I've got, which is the StreamYard, which your studio you into. Obviously my microphone and my new microphone and whatnot. So I wanted to make sure I had the right setup first, if you know what I mean.
No, very
And I've
impressive.
done my pre-recorded stuff and whatnot. You look like you're in bed, mate.
No, I'm not. I mean, I don't want to show you my television here because I'll get you in trouble. But I'm watching Man United at Atalanta.
Oh, you're watching that game as well? Yeah.
Yeah, and it's 60. See, this is interesting. I'm on just short of 63 minutes. 62.
So I'm 62-15, 62-16.
You're about
But
40 seconds behind me.
yeah, if you're watching on the TV, I think the TV on the app, it's because it's an app. I think it's probably.
Ooh, when Ronaldo almost scored.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet. It's just coming up to it now. Then
Go on, and do you want to do the commentary?
it's Greenwood. Here's Bruno Fernandes. He's played in Rashford. It's over to Luke Shaw. Yeah, you are quite a bit in front of me, aren't you? Haven't even had it yet. Well, Maguire's got the ball at the moment.
Got a yellow card where I'm looking.
What, another Atlanta player?
No, Luke Shaw.
To say. He's had a few saves, didn't he? I tell you what, some of the chances that Ronaldo's had, you would normally expect him to score. Is that what you get now at 36? Is that what? Do you think that's age creeping up on him?
I think it's a fair point, but I don't think so. You know, any team with Ronaldo in there as a starting striker is a threat. I can't see Ronaldo ever being impeded by age.
For sure.
I mean, he's still deadly. You know, he's still going to score important goals, and that's just the nature of the beast, isn't it? For me, the question is, when's he going to hang up his boots? You know, how many more World Cup? Obviously, I suspect he's only got one more World Cup, but it's those sort of questions.
Yeah, I mean, he signed 2-year contract, isn't he? And obviously, the World Cup's next winter, isn't it? It's only a year away because of the mid-season. So, I think you're right. I think this will be his last contract. I don't see him staying on beyond this. And that 36, I mean, so I tell you, they're decent side attacking wise. He's miskicked it. 4-0, by the way, in the Chelsea game. That's a big blow. They've lost Werner and Lukaku in the same game, Chelsea.
Oh, 4-0 though. That's a good result, isn't it?
Well, it's Malmo, isn't it? I mean, it's.
Forgive me. You don't want to be losing your good players against the easy team.
I was a little bit surprised with the lineup. He put in a very strong. I know they're missing a few players. There's no Pulisic, no Ziyech, etc. through injuries. They haven't played much this season, but I'm surprised he didn't make more changes. I think he could have perhaps brought in Barkley and Loftus-Cheek into midfield, for example, given players like Kante a game off and whatnot. So I'm a little bit surprised, given it's Malmo, you know.
Yeah, should have brought in some easier players. So Manuel making a couple of subs. McTominay's coming off, and Pogba's coming on. And someone else, I think I saw Cavani coming on. So Rashford. He'd never take off Ronaldo, will he? Never.
Well, that's what I mean. He's taking off your goal scorer. This is Solskjaer, though. Solskjaer's in-game management. Have you ever known a worse in-game manager than Solskjaer?
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I don't study in the way you study stats. But
you remember? Was it last year where Fred got sent off against PSG? If you remember. And he got booked in the first half, I think it was, and it should have been a red card. I think a lot of people were scratching their heads thinking, how on earth was that not a red card? The whole stadium, the commentary could all say it was a red card. He's given a yellow card, but you knew the minute that it was a yellow, that was it. He was one tackle away. And bear in mind where he plays midfield. At half time, the commentary, the pundits, whatnot, we're all expecting to see Fred off at half time. Couldn't possibly leave him on. Far too vulnerable. Should have been sent off already. You know, it's a matter of time. He comes on in the second half. To everyone's surprise, everyone could see that he was going to, that he should have been subbed. And lo and behold, he gets booked, and that's the second yellow card, and off he went. not go and lose the game, crash out of the Champions League in the group stages. It's just basic in-game management by that, like that I get from Solskjaer. That for me is why I thought. Well, it's the same with Arteta. You could argue both Arteta and Solskjaer. Would either of those get in to the other side, the other team? Would Solskjaer get into would Arsenal have Solskjaer as manager, and would United have Arteta as manager? You would say no.
No,
Chelsea certainly wouldn't. Liverpool certainly wouldn't, and City certainly wouldn't. So they wouldn't get into any of the other of the the so-called big sides. So what are they doing at Arsenal and Man United with respect?
I mean, in this, well, obviously the Solskjaer history, but time's running out for him. And in response to your point about 10, 15 minutes ago, I would agree. The bums are going to be getting itchy at Man U. And of course, don't forget now, there's a very big fish at Man U, right? So it's not about 60,000 supporters anymore. It's about that one big fish called Ronaldo. And I suspect if he says out, he goes. You know what I mean?
I agree. I thought it was a bad signing, actually. I know a lot of people say commercially it was good. Yeah, I thought it was a bad signing. I thought it's going to upset the balance. You're going to have, the thing is, okay, so you go and get another manager. Guess what? Ronaldo will have to have it over him as well. And if Conte goes in, for example, I can see massive problems between Conte and Ronaldo, because Conte wants total authority, doesn't he? He leaves clubs because he wants total authority. Can you see Ronaldo sitting there and going, yes, sir, no, sir? 3 bags full, sir, to Conte?
He's the boss, the director, and the supporters and a player all rolled into one, isn't he?
Absolutely. And that's so I think other managers are going to go there and have problems. And that's why I think.
Oh, Ronaldo almost got through. You'll see that in 40 seconds' time.
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying. But at the end of the day, I think it was a commercial value, but also, me as a I'm going to call myself football neutral at this point. Yes, I am an Arsenal fan, but at the end of the day, I don't really care about it anymore. We all know that they're in a slump. Now you just start to, you become a football neutral and you just enjoy watching the good players, right? That's where I am now. So obviously when Man U came back to the Premier League, I was excited. I was like, brilliant, gives you something to watch on a Wednesday night when it's raining outside. I think it's fantastic. So I think it's a very smart signing. The guy will get goals, as he's already shown. I mean, what's the Ronaldo stats already? You tell me.
What's that?
Well, how many goals has he got already?
Right, he's got what? 3, 4, 5.
Well, there you go, 4 or 5. So, I mean, he's up. I don't know the exact stats. I know you know him, but he's up there with the top big. Well, he's probably just a bit below the big guns already.
Well, he started off well. He's faded, isn't he? We've moved on because he got his couple against. He scored against Leeds and against Newcastle. Then he faded, didn't he? He didn't score against Everton. Didn't score against Villa. Didn't score against who they played at the weekend, Leicester. So he's he scored against young boys, but he didn't score against. Oh no, he did score against. He scored a winner, didn't he, against Villarreal? Late winner.
That's where he earns his money, isn't it?
It isn't. It isn't. The thing is, at 36, and I always said this at the start of the season. At 36, how many games can he realistically play in a season? Bearing in mind, once the weather starts to get colder, once those games start coming in thick and fast. Oh,
yeah. But that's why they got Cavani and Rashford. All of these guys can replace him and replace him very well.
Should be 3-1, shouldn't it? Atlanta there. Atlanta.
Yeah, Atlanta, no mugs. Where did they come from? Atlanta. I mean, I remember
Atlanta. They're Italian.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But when I mean, obviously,
you're right. Where they come, I know what you mean. It's that was a good save actually, because I think it was deflected. They've moved up. They were getting into Europa League. Now they've got into the Champions League, and they're a decent side. Well coached.
Good on them.
Missing a few players as well.
I mean, I looked at this team sheet, and there's no names I recognise from the Italian squad. So there you go. Wait, Sancho's coming on. What's your opinion of Sancho? There you go. There's one for you. Sancho,
Well,
Jadon
they're
Sancho.
saying it'll come down to the coaching. How could he be so good at Dortmund? I don't think Gareth Southgate helped a lot of the England players in the Euros because he wasn't playing Sancho as often as we all thought Sancho would play. And a bit like Chilwell, he left the Euros in a worse state than what he arrived in, and you could probably blame Gareth Southgate for that. But he's not been. He's coming on now, isn't he? He's not. I don't think he's been coached well enough. And the thing is that Sancho is one of those sort of players, isn't he? Where if the team's playing well, I guess like anything, if the team's playing well, then individuals are going to play well within that team. But if the team's not playing well, and I don't know, the system doesn't quite work for him, I don't think. But plus also they don't have the particularly good midfield to transition from defense to attack. And so therefore, I mean, you could argue other than Bruno Fernandes and Ronaldo, who else really at Man United are real threats going forward? Who are your creative players? They haven't got that central midfielder, really, have they? That can play that transition from defense to attack. And because of that, Sancho's almost been a little bit ineffective, really, because he's not the transition. He is at the end of the transition, isn't he, Sancho?
Sancho is a winger, isn't he? He's like a fast-paced winger, or am I wrong?
Well, yes, you're right. So but if you're going from a defensive state to an attacking state, and that transition, he's not going to be further back on the pitch. You want him to get the ball in the opposition half.
That's right.
But in order to get the ball there, you've got to play through that transition, and it's there where I think it's weak. The ball is not getting into him at the right times. He's not getting into the space because the way with which United play the football just doesn't allow for that to happen. It just doesn't suit his way of, or suit his strengths.
So what do you think the end result will be? Do you think the end result will be that they'll get, Solskjaer will go, new manager in, and he'll sort it all out?
I don't know whether he'll sort it all out, because I think too much of an emphasis. How long in the Man United is there? There is about 15, 16 minutes. Drunk Devil. About 15, 16 minutes. It's been a goal. It's a case of who's it been for? Hey?
Get watching Man U. Little tip off.
I'm watching it. It's Man United have got the ball, so obviously it's the corner which they score from, presumably. It's got to be a Man United goal because they're the ones with the ball at the moment. Oh, it's Maguire. Maguire 2-2.
Back post. Good slamming with his right foot.
Goal. Yeah,
right
indeed.
Place, right time. But good finish as well. Almost as good as his penalty in the, was it the semis or the final of the Euros? Did you remember his penalty? How good that was?
Maguire, yeah.
Maguire's penalty, was it in the final against Italy? My God, what a penalty,
What did you make, by the way, off that penalty shootout? Do you think Saka should have been taking that fifth penalty?
No, he shouldn't have done. Well, look, at the end of the day, you have to. There's many aspects we can talk about it now, but should he, shouldn't he? At the end of the day, he's a professional footballer. So any professional footballer should be taking a penalty, right? Fact. Yeah. The question is so there shouldn't be anyone hiding. But the question is should other players, slightly more experienced, senior, older, whatever, be in the line above him? In the pecking order, I should say. And I think that's your question. And of course, the answer to that is yes. The names of what's his name, Sterling and Grealish have come up. Yeah, these guys should be, particularly Sterling, England's highest scorer in the final, should be putting his foot forward. But yeah, go on.
I agree. The thing is, there's debate about whether Gareth Southgate. For me, Gareth Southgate as the manager needs to take ownership and almost determine and say to Saka, "Look, I can't have you going in at number 5. It's just not the right." And it seems to me like I don't know. He lacks leadership. I think Gareth Southgate. He doesn't lack the balls to say, "Look, I'm the manager. I'm going to make this decision, and I'm making a decision for what I believe is best for the team." And what was best for the team was that it wasn't Saka to take that penalty. It would have been someone perhaps with more experience, in
Mm.
my opinion.
Well, yeah, he can't have it. Was he 20, 21, 19, whatever he is?
19, having never played a Champions League game as well.
Yeah,
Bear in mind,
no, you can't have a 19-year-old kid taking a fifth penalty to keep you in the European Cup final. You can't do it. European Championship final, and it's just simple as that. At the end of the day, a penalty shootout is a toss of a coin. So one of those groups, one of those number fives, is more than likely going to have to take a penalty to either A, win, or B, keep your team in it. Jorginho missed his penalty to win. And he missed his penalty to win. So then it came down to Saka to keep him in, and he didn't keep him in. At the end of the day, it always has to happen to someone. We have to remember that somebody has to lose and miss and sort of save. So it's just life. So you can't be too harsh on that front. But yeah, should a more experienced player be in the back end of the pecking order? Yes, they should. Particularly
there's an interesting thing. I don't know what your thoughts of it really.
Go on,
I don't know what your thoughts with Saka and Arsenal at the moment, but do you feel that he's sort of hit a brick wall over the last sort of 6-7 months? Against so I think I read somewhere after the Wolves game, which was at the beginning of February, he then the rest of the season went on to get just 1 goal and 1 assist, I think, or it might have been just 1 assist after February, and then he's had 1 goal and 1 assist, I think, so far this season. So since February, I could be wrong, but I'm not far off, but it's something like just 2 goals and 2 assists since February for Saka. Do you feel like he's hit a bit of a brick wall? Bearing in mind, after you could argue he kept Arteta in his job in January last year when he hit a purple patch. And if he's hit a brick wall, is that just are we seeing perhaps that he's peaking a bit early, or is it?
Bruno Fernandes came very close there. A little tricky dribble in the box, but good save by the keeper. Remains at 2-2. So no, in answer to your question, I think. So do you know what the Midas touch is?
The what? Sorry,
the Midas touch.
Midas touch.
Yeah.
I don't know what you mean.
When Midas touches something, what does it turn into?
Who's Midas?
Okay,
I'm going to go gold.
Gold. No, it's gold. You're right. The Midas touch. Everything he touches turns to gold. Okay. So you're wondering why I'm saying this to you, because effectively Arsenal have had in the last 5 years, since the late Wenger era. But let's not be too harsh on Wenger. Let's just say it's the new guys. They have the opposite of the Midas touch. Okay. So now, do you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So. Any player, as we were discussing on text message earlier, any player that goes to Arsenal / starts to show promise, Saka, effectively they get hit by the opposite of the Midas touch. And that's my view. So do I think he's hit a bit of a brick wall? He obviously got Arsenal Player of the Season last year. He did very, very well, for a 19-year-old kid. I mean, I wouldn't say he was outstanding. He
done well up until February, didn't he? And then in February, I think it was 1 assist he had since February, and that's so throughout February, March, and April and May.
So, God!
Oh, it's going to be Man United. It's good, obvious.
I'll let you do the commentary. Just watch Man U. You can watch it. Just watch Man U.
Yeah, it's a Man U goal, isn't it?
It is a Man U goal, and it's your favourite player as well.
Oh God, he's saying he's gone and bloody.
He's only gone and got possibly the winner in the last 8 minutes. This is what he gets paid $500,000 a week for.
Yeah, but I don't want to be paying that sort of money for someone to score last minute goals against Villarreal and Atalanta. I want that player to score last minute goals against against Liverpool and Chelsea's and City's.
That's a good point. A classic Ronaldo header. Have you seen it yet?
Yeah, I just see it here.
Yeah, classic Ronaldo header. I mean, he is the role model when it comes to heading the ball, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I hear what you're saying about Ronaldo. He's got to get some slightly more important goals against slightly bigger teams. But hey, he's doing exactly what he was brought in for at this point. He's getting important goals, keeping him there. He'll be there, man. I mean, he's just a phenomenal player to watch for doing things like that. But going back to Arsenal and Saka, I mean, is he hit a brick wall? I think the whole Arsenal team have hit a brick wall. You know, the clunkiness, whatever is in the board, goes right down through into the team on the ground level. So I see it as a whole team thing. I don't see it as necessarily individuals.
The question is, and because it's very divided, the Arsenal fan base at the moment, and that is, you know, is this just a case of the club have failed in their recruitment, etc.? How much does the manager take responsibility? Arteta, is he good enough? Would another manager get more out of this team? If you know what I mean. My argument is that they would. I mean, I look around and, you know, look, Arsenal cannot sign the likes of Klopp, Guardiolas, and Contes and so on. They just don't, you know European football and so on. And a manager like Conte, for example, wants to go in now and win a title now. He doesn't want to go in and say, right, I've got a team that in 2 or 3 years might win me the title, if that makes sense. Right. So people are, and the very best managers in the game are those managers that want to go in now and win the title next season. So for me, if Arsenal, given a project they're going with their recruitment, their young players they're bringing in and so on, I look and think, right, someone like Graham Potter at Brighton would fit the bill perfectly, plays good brand of football, knows the Premier League, does well with youngsters, knows players like Ben White, for example, because obviously he was manager of him last season and so on. And that would be the obvious choice. And I think I look at someone like Graham Potter and I think, you know what, I think he would get more out of this Arsenal side. That being said, I also think where realistically should this Arsenal team finish? Given, you know, the level of players they've got and so on. They've got a lot of players there that frankly wouldn't get into the other big sides. You know, if you look at midfield, for example, and with the likes of Partey, Xhaka, what's that new guy from Antwerp, Lukonga, etc. Are they going to get him? I mean, you look at Chelsea's, they've got Jorginho, Kante, Kovacic, John. You're not getting in there. You look at City's, you look at Liverpool's. I mean, it's just like, do you see what I mean? And you think, okay, so you could argue that the management could get more, another manager could get more out of it. But in terms of the quality of the players, I also think realistically, where do you put them in that league realistically?
Yeah. If we without analysing the team sheet individually, the starting 11, let's say, but I would say the only player that any of the big 4 or 5, whatever, like, and this is a possibly, is Tierney. You know, Tierney when fit and playing
he's been
well.
Out of form, hasn't he, recently? Yeah, but
he's been out of form since the Euros, basically. But you know, he is a good player, and he's not just he's got a good head on him, hasn't he? He's got great sort of maturity. So I would say out of the Arsenal starting 11, that is the only player that maybe possibly any of the big guns would take. You know, okay, Aubameyang in his glory days, but now they wouldn't even look at him. So
he's past. Yeah, he's past it now, isn't he?
He said he's got his 350 grand. He's done, right? He's happy. So on the subject of Aubameyang, I see him sometimes driving up and down my high street in his gold Lamborghini.
Gold, of course, he has.
You see him. Well, he's got blacked out windows, but you just, you know, it's German number plate. You know, you see him. Yeah, you know it's him. Yeah. Because I live quite near to Arsenal training ground.
Yeah, you're supposed to say you do, don't you?
But basically, so that's it. So none of the other big guns. And going back to the manager again, you're right. You know, I mean, I can't say I know Graham Potter or I know Brighton are doing well. So, but you know, Arsenal are a bigger club, right? Arsenal don't go for a manager from a team that's sort of just been promoted, or you know. They need a name. I mean, okay, Wenger wasn't a name, but there was something about him that worked, right? There was a talk. I think one of the biggest boo-boos Arsenal made was was it after Unai Emery, wasn't it? Or when Unai Emery was getting sacked, there was talk of getting Ancelotti from wherever he was. I can't remember who he was at the time.
Ancelotti's name, Mourinho was linked as well.
But
Pochettino. Pochettino, 'cause I think Pochettino had left Spurs as well. If I remember rightly.
Pochettino, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think to go for an ex-Spurs manager is quite a dark move. But there was Ancelotti.
Worked for George Graham.
Well, it did work for George Graham, but he went. That was 10, 20 years ago, wasn't it? So it happened, and I don't think it will happen again. I mean, maybe it will, but I don't know. So yeah, I mean, you want look at what Tuchel's done since he's come to Chelsea. I mean, unbelievable. And he wasn't even that big a manager. He's just got the right approach. He's almost like a Wenger approach. I'm not saying Tuchel was a nobody. He wasn't at all. But he came from, not the top club in Germany. I think he was then at Paris or something like that. They got rid of him or whatever. But, clearly the guy had pedigree. But look at what he's done at Chelsea. I mean, now he is a top manager. He's in the top 5 of managers, or top 3 even, that any team would want.
He's certainly the 6 months at Chelsea, he elevated his career without a doubt.
Absolutely.
As you would when you win Champions League anyway. It don't matter what team you're in. If you win the Champions League, you win the Champions League, didn't you?
Absolutely. So yeah, but Arsenal aren't going to get a guy like this, unless they take a punt on one. And my point is that is Graham Potter or other similar manager of similar stature, the Aston Villa bloke, I don't know his name,
Smith.
Yeah, or the Brighton, ex-Bournemouth guy who's now out of a job. How? They were sort of talking of this sort of young English manager. I mean, I respect these guys, but nah, they're not going to come in and turn your club around and get you the Champions League, right?
But the thing is Arteta was Arteta at the time. Bear in mind, Arteta never managed a role, and I know he worked as Guardiola's number 2, but the way Guardiola sets up his coaching staff is he's not the number 2; he's a number of number 2s. If that makes sense, as Guardiola, he doesn't have like a direct assistant, does he? He has 4 or 5 assistants / coaches. And for me, he's got no record. You can't look at Arteta and say, well, he's got records. He's got a record of being able to work with young players. He's got, he's got a history of being able to do this or a history of being able to do that. He came with nothing. There's absolutely no statistical analysis. There's no history. He hasn't come through the ranks. He hasn't managed a youth side or reserve side. It's completely no management experience whatsoever into a massive job like Arsenal. And I know they won the FA Cup, and in a way, the FA Cup masked the fact that in the league, they didn't improve in the league. In 20 games he was there in the league, and they went from 8th to 8th and never improved. Although they went on and won in the FA Cup. But winning the FA Cup it's a difference. You don't need to be a good manager to win a knockout competition, if that makes sense, because knockout competitions are a game-by-game basis. You had a player in form, as they did in the Aubameyang, and for Arteta's job was easy, which was to keep the defence, tighten up at the back, keep the defence going, and allow someone like Aubameyang just to shine through. Just for his quality to win the games. He didn't need to worry about scoring the goals. He didn't have to coach that area. He didn't have to coach Aubameyang. He just simply needed to make sure that Arsenal could keep clean sheets and let Aubameyang do the rest. Once that dried up, once Aubameyang's form had gone, and it was always going to go, he was never going to. He is 31 now, 31, nearly 32. For a striker, you're over the edge at that point. And once that has dried up, it's
Ronaldo, Lewandowski, Messi.
But they don't rely on pace, though, do they? They don't rely on pace, though, do they? If you know what I mean. Like, for one of the first things that goes in a striker is the pace, isn't it? Once that pace is gone. Whereas Ronaldo, you look where he plays now. He doesn't sit as deep and rely on his pace. He almost poaches as many goals as he creates from outside the box now, doesn't he, Ronaldo? Because he hasn't got the legs to have that pace to go into the box, so he needs to be in the box ready. And the same with Lewandowski. He's a goal poacher. He's not it's not the sort of person you put through 1-on-1 40 yards from goal and allow him to have a run at the defence with pace. He's not that sort of player.
No, but he's pretty damn good outside the box though as well.
He is, yes. But we're talking about very exceptional.
Yeah, these are creme de la creme. Albeit in the twilight of their careers, they are the creme de la creme.
Absolutely, and they don't come along every day. And Aubameyang, he's obviously his pace. The goals he scores now, his scores are poaching goals, aren't they? You look at the goal against Norwich, for example, because he can't. When you put Aubameyang 1-on-1 trying to beat a player on the edge of the box, he can't. I'm not saying he never beats a player now, but he doesn't beat them as often as what he used to because he doesn't have that pace anymore. He's no longer got that. And also, I think in the Premier League, as you know, in the Premier League, if you can get sussed out as a player, can't you, at certain points? And I think people know Aubameyang's weakness in terms of, if he's out on the outside of the box, he's quite severely right-footed. You don't let him come inside you, and there's a good chance that he's not going to be able to beat you on pace anymore. So, and once that's dried up and that goal threat from Aubameyang's dried up, Arteta can no longer rely on just trying to keep clean sheets and allowing Aubameyang to do what he needs to do, if that makes sense. And I think that's he's been found out a little bit, Arteta, in that aspect. I think he's a little bit. I mean, look, on top of anything else, I think the football that he plays is pretty dull. I don't like the football. I think it's far too much sideways and backwards passing. But like I said, I just think you look at the, yes, they can't get the best managers out there, but the managers there are managers out there that could do more of this Arsenal squad than Arteta, and I think that's what has to be. And what I didn't like with Erdu early in the season with his interview, and they was asked about what his expectations are for Arsenal this season, he wouldn't give them. And I thought that's a bit strange because if you go and ask Chelsea what their expectations are this season, they'll say, "Well, we want to win the Premier League. That's our minimum expectations, challenge for the title." You ask City, you ask Liverpool, the clubs will say the same thing. We expect to challenge for a title. You ask Norwich, they'll be, we want to try and stay up. That's our expectations. Watford, try and stay up, and some other teams like I don't know, Palace might be to try and get a good mid-table finish. That's your expectations. You go to Arsenal and it's we'll be happy with anywhere between 17th and 4th. just you see what I mean? It's and the reason I think they do that is deliberately so they can move the goalpost, because Arsenal, like I said, they are the Red Army of the Soviet Union. It's all about propaganda for them, isn't it? And so if they don't set the expectations, it allows the fans that are deluded and believe in the process and Arteta and so on, they can move the goals left and right. They beat Spurs and all of a sudden they're talking about top 4. Oh, Arsenal can finish top 4, and then they go and draw Brighton. No. We never said top 4. It's all about being top 6 for us. It's all about moving the goalposts and not setting it, not having concrete expectations, because then it's almost as though some of these Arsenal fans are, if they don't, expectations aren't met, then Arteta they would have to be calling for Arteta's sack, and they don't want to do that. So therefore, it's easy just to not set the expectations. That way, you can, if for example, if at the end of the season, let's say Arsenal finish 10th, those same fans and the club can sit there and say, "Well, we were expecting this. We knew it was going to be difficult. We're not judging Arteta on the season. We'll judge him on next one," and so on. And because they won't set expectations. If they said, "Look, we need to get back in the Europa League," and they don't, then surely he has to go. Just looking at the still 4-0, by the way. It's just about there we go, full time in the.
Maybe I'll hand over to you to do a bit of end of game commentary now. So
yeah, no worries, mate.
Well, listen, it was not. I'll log out. It was nice being your special guest for this evening. Okay.
No worries. Bring you on again soon, mate.
Cheers. Thank you.
That's right. Right then. So that is that in terms of the. Let's have a quick look through the scores. So in the Championship, Fulham 2, Cardiff 0, Huddersfield 0, Birmingham 0, Hull City 1, Peterborough 2. Great with Peterborough, by the way, there. Middlesbrough 2, Barnsley 0, Preston 2, Coventry 1, Swansea 2, West Brom 1. Pulled it around Swansea. They're 1-0 down at half time. And Reading 2, Blackpool 3. What game that must have been, because Reading were 2-0 up in that game as well. So comebacks all around in all three games here. They've been turnarounds. Right. Benfica 0, Bayern 4. That was 0-0 at half time. So Bayern Munich have run right in that second half. Barcelona 1, Dynamo Kiev 0 earlier in the day, or earlier this evening. Man United 3, Atalanta 2, Young Boys 1, Villarreal 4. Man United gets a massive turnaround, a night of turnarounds. Massive needed win, massively needed win. That's probably kept Solskjaer on a job for another few days at least. They've got Liverpool this weekend. They'll need to win that, I think. But Young Boys 1, Villarreal 4. So it really is a 3-horse race here between Man U, Atalanta, and Villarreal. Man United's next game, Atalanta away. Massive game that's going to be. Salzburg 3, Wolfsburg 1, and Lille 0, Seville 0. So it's quite a weak group, really, isn't it? To be fair. Chelsea 4, Malmo 0. Obviously, good win for Chelsea. Needed win in the Champions League after losing to Juventus, but not all good news because Lukaku and Werner both taken off injured. Don't know how serious they are. We're going to find out, I guess, over the next day or two. But they're going to be short. They're going to be short up front, and certainly Werner looked like it was a hamstring. And if that's a hamstring, it depends how serious it is, really. But it doesn't look promising. Earlier in the day, Spartak Moscow 3, Leicester 4, in a great result in an early Europa League game. Normally Europa League's on Thursday, but what a great result that is for Leicester. And there you have it. That is all the games done for tonight. So an interesting. Just thoughts quickly on the Man United game and the Chelsea game in particular. Man United, great turnaround from half time. They looked dead and buried at 2-0. I genuinely believe that if they had lost that tonight, I think it would have been very difficult to see Solskjaer in a job on Sunday against Liverpool. I'm still not entirely convinced he's gonna make it through. He's got to win against Liverpool, so we'll have to see how he gets on with that. And of course, Chelsea again for Malmo 0. That will the next game against Malmo is Malmo away. They win that, they'll be on 9 points, and that should be enough then to get them through. They've still got to play Zenit away, Juventus at home. Should be enough to get them through. But like I said, the talking points on the game aren't really the game, but the injuries to Lukaku and Werner, both of their forwards injured. And I think it's almost like it's an. I said a few weeks ago I weren't keen on the 3-5-2 playing Werner and Lukaku up front, and that is one of the reasons why. Because now they play both strikers and lost both strikers. For me, the 3-4-3 works better anyway. I think they look better as a 3-4-3. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how bad those injuries are. I would hazard a guess that both players won't play this weekend. But there you go. Anyway, hope everyone's enjoyed the football tonight. I might be back on tomorrow I might come and try and cover the second half possibly of the Europa League games. Otherwise, there's a couple of videos I've got penciled in. Oh, Zenit 0, Juventus 1, by the way. So that would have been a late goal there. 86 minutes. Yeah. Late goal from Juventus. I hope everyone, like I said, has a good evening. And I'll see you all again soon.